We all know Tinseltown is filled with glitz and glamour, but what about the things they don't want us to see? The secrets, scandals, and cover-ups that have been swept under the rug for years. Some of these stories will make you question everything you thought you knew about Hollywood's biggest stars. So, sit tight because these stories get darker than you'd expect. Hey everyone, welcome back to Bizarre Society, where we dive into the strangest and most shocking stories out there. Today, we're stepping into the shadowy side of Hollywood. Let's get into it. First, let's start with the chilling story of Natalie Wood, the beloved star of West Side Story. In 1981, Wood was on a yacht trip off the coast of Catalina Island with her husband, actor Robert Wagner, and co-star Christopher Walken when tragedy struck. She drowned under mysterious circumstances and her death was initially ruled an accident. The official story? She fell overboard while trying to secure a loose dinghy. But as details started to emerge, many people began to question that narrative. Wood had a well-known fear of water, making it unlikely she would have been trying to handle the boat alone at night. Even more suspicious, reports from the boat that night mentioned heated arguments between Wood and Wagner, fueling theories that there was something more to her death. In 2011, the case was reopened, and in 2018, Wagner was named a person of interest, though no charges have ever been filed. To this day, the mystery surrounding Natalie Wood's death haunts Hollywood. Was it an accident, or did something more sinister happen on that boat? Next, we have a scandal that rocked one of the biggest names in Hollywood, Marlon Brando. In 1990, Brando's son, Christian Brando, was arrested for the murder of his sister Cheyenne Brando's boyfriend, Dag Drolet. The motive? Christian claimed he was protecting Cheyenne from Drolet, who allegedly abused her. But the case was far from straightforward. Christian pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter, and Marlon Brando's immense Hollywood power seemed to play a role in shaping the trial. He gave a highly emotional testimony, but some speculated that behind the scenes, the Brando family was doing everything in their power to downplay the scandal. Christian ended up serving 5 years in prison, but many felt that the full truth was never revealed. What's even more tragic is that Cheyenne, Marlon Brando's troubled daughter, took her own life in 1995, just 5 years after the incident. The Brando family's dark history is one of Hollywood's most unsettling cover-ups, with questions about the true events of that fateful night still lingering. Here's a name that's become synonymous with controversy: Roman Polanski. Polanski's story is one of the most famous and notorious Hollywood scandals that is still unfolding today. In 1977, Polanski was arrested and charged with sexually assaulting a 13-year-old girl. After initially pleading guilty to a lesser charge, Polanski fled the US for Europe, where he has remained ever since, avoiding extradition back to the US. What's shocking is that despite his fugitive status, Polanski continued to have a successful film career, even winning an Academy Award in 2003 for The Pianist. Many in Hollywood rallied around him, defending his talent despite the horrifying allegations. This has sparked ongoing debates about how the entertainment industry handles allegations against powerful men. While Polanski has been wanted in the US for over 40 years, he has managed to avoid justice, raising serious questions about who's protecting him and why. Is Hollywood still hiding something about Polanski's past? Or is it simply the power of fame and money shielding him from accountability? Up next, we've got the legendary Marilyn Monroe, whose life and death are surrounded by conspiracy and intrigue. Monroe's death in 1962 was officially ruled as a suicide by overdose, but rumors of foul play have persisted ever since. What makes Monroe's case even more suspicious are the secret FBI files kept on her during her rise to fame. These files, released in part during the 1980s, revealed that Monroe was under surveillance for her ties to communism, or at least suspicions that she was linked to certain leftist groups. But here's the kicker. Many parts of Monroe's FBI files were destroyed or remain classified, fueling conspiracy theories that her death was part of a cover-up involving powerful political figures, including John F. Kennedy and Robert F. Kennedy, both of whom Monroe was rumored to have had affairs with. What really happened to Monroe? Could the government have had a hand in her death, or is this just another tragic tale of fame gone wrong? Now, let's move to a more recent Hollywood cover-up, Britney Spears and her conservatorship battle. For years, Britney was the pop princess who dominated the charts, but behind the scenes, she was living a very different reality. After her highly publicized breakdown in 2007, Britney was placed under a conservatorship led by her father, Jamie Spears, that controlled nearly every aspect of her life. Her finances, her career, even her personal relationships. For over 13 years, Britney lived under this conservatorship, unable to speak out publicly about her situation until the Hash-Free Britney movement gained traction in 2020. As fans and media outlets began to investigate, shocking revelations emerged about the extent of control her father and management team had over her life. Britney herself described it as abusive in court testimony, sparking a legal battle that eventually led to the termination of the conservatorship in November 2021. But here's the real question. How was this allowed to go on for so long? Britney herself described it as abusive in court testimony, sparking a legal battle that eventually led to the termination of the conservatorship in November 2021. But here's the real question. How was this allowed to go on for so long? Were the people in charge simply looking to protect her, or was this all about controlling her fortune and career? The sudden death of Bruce Lee in 1973 shocked the world, but as with many high-profile deaths, the official cause, cerebral edema, left more questions than answers. Some people believe that Lee's death was no accident, and rumors of foul play have followed his legacy ever since. One theory is that Lee was targeted by the Triads, a Chinese organized crime group, due to business conflicts. Others speculate that Lee's sudden death was related to a curse, particularly because his son, Brandon Lee, also died under suspicious circumstances while filming The Crow in 1993. To this day, fans of Bruce Lee continue to debate whether his death was a tragic accident or part of something much darker lurking in the shadows. Let's talk about one of the most popular and enduring conspiracy theories of all time, Elvis Presley. The king of rock and roll was found dead on August 16, 1977, in his Graceland mansion, reportedly from heart failure. But not everyone is convinced Elvis is really gone. For decades, there have been rumors and sightings suggesting that Elvis faked his death to escape the pressures of fame. Some fans claim they've seen Elvis alive, whether at convenience stores or in the background of photos. While many of these stories sound far-fetched, the details surrounding his death do raise eyebrows. Conflicting reports about his final moments, the secrecy surrounding his funeral, and the fact that he was allegedly planning a comeback just before his death, all fuel the belief that Elvis might still be out there, living in hiding. Now we move on to a rock legend who left the world on his own terms, David Bowie. Bowie passed away in January 2016, just 2 days after releasing his final album, Black Star. What many didn't know at the time was that Bowie had been battling liver cancer for 18 months in secret. The album, filled with references to death and the afterlife, was seen by many as his way of saying goodbye to his fans. But here's where it gets interesting. Bowie's ability to keep his illness under wraps, even from some close friends and collaborators, has led to speculation about how much he knew and how long he'd been preparing for his final act. Was Black Star Bowie's ultimate artistic statement, or was there more behind his quiet exit? Prince's sudden death in April 2016 was yet another shock to the music world. Found unresponsive in his Paisley Park estate, it was later revealed that he had died of an accidental fentanyl overdose. But what followed his death was almost as shocking as his passing, the intense battle over his estate and legacy. Prince reportedly died without a will, which led to years of legal disputes among his family members, heirs, and even business associates. To add to the intrigue, it's been widely speculated that Prince had a vault filled with unreleased music that could be worth millions. Who controls Prince's legacy now, and why was he so secretive about his future plans? Finally, we have Mel Gibson, who went from being one of Hollywood's biggest stars to being virtually blacklisted after his 2006 DUI arrest and anti-Semitic rant. The scandal exposed a darker side of Gibson, leading to his near exile from the entertainment industry. But over the years, Gibson has made a slow comeback, directing the critically acclaimed Hacksaw Ridge in 2016, and even getting Oscar nominations. The real mystery here is how Gibson managed to rehabilitate his career after such a public fall from grace. Did his talent overshadow his troubling past, or were there people in high places pulling the strings to give him a second chance? So, there you have it, 10 of the most shocking cover-ups in Hollywood's history. These stories remind us that the glitz and glamour of Tinseltown often hide darker secrets. But what do you think? Are these cover-ups just part of the price of fame, or is there something more sinister lurking behind the scenes? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, tap the link to watch our recent episode on the BBL pandemic that is causing harm to a lot of women. See you next time.